Hello, this is Dan, DK Excavating, here at 420 Cheyenne Street in Albin, just on the west end of Albin, Wyoming. We've got a sewer line we're looking at here. I'm showing a little bellied right here, but I think that's just because of these solids that are in the line. I'm out about 135 feet, and I'm out of cable, so we're almost to the tap. I think we're getting close to the next street or the alley. That's dirt. That's kind of to the east of the house. This sewer line angles to the northeast from the house and the two-way cleanouts that were accessed on the east side of the house. So we'll this line's got a lot of colors, a lot of small offsets, and a couple of smaller bellies, one a little bit bigger, and we'll pull it back and show you what we got. I gotta move my camera so I can. I just brought it back a couple feet, even though it says 135 still. But this is 135 roughly from the bottom of the cleanouts. So start pulling back. Right here we have a little bit of an offset, which I didn't really see before. This has got to be really close to the bush. That's west of the shop area. It's about 3 feet deep out there. It's offset a little bit, but not terribly. There's a possibility that solids could get hung up that carry clog, but it's kind of a small one. Very slight water right here, but I don't see any reason why this wouldn't flow in this spot. I'm not sure what kind of pipe that was. That black pipe, it could be ABS. I don't think it's Orangeburg. I think it's ABS. Right here we have a transition to PVC for a moment. This is a Y from the shop, from the plumbing in the shop. Slight belly here, but very slight. I don't think this would create any problems, but just kind of might have to get a second opinion on see if this would be a problematic belly, just because I mean we're looking at probably ½ inch of water at the most there, so not much. There is a little bit of an offset right here. It is offsetting down. You can see the camera drops down. That's probably where the belly's coming from. And you can see the top of the pipe, how it's not lining up. So there's probably still drainage, just kind of that where they tied on that that Y, that tie-in, is just offset a little bit. So we'll keep moving back. This is just kind of behind where they got the camper parked. It looks like the dog is coming to greet me. We'll come back a little ways. Let me see if I can pause this. Alright, we're back. Come back just a little ways. Got a small belly here. Got a little bit bigger right there. Still probably maybe an inch and a half belly right there. Here's a clean out. This clean out's like right behind the camper that's parked just east of the shop. And there's a clean out right there, and that's kind of where this is at. But like I said, this is a 4-inch pipe, so we're probably only inch and a half belly right there. And then we pop right out of the belly. Come back a little further. Now here we hit another piece of ABS. Looks like another rough transition right here. Not terrible, but definitely a little lip. And we're getting close to the parking area that was dug in. So that where that clean out was about 2 feet deep. This area here is this is just beyond the parking area. There's a railroad tie border around it. This is just on the outside of it. We'll keep moving back. Slight belly here. Again, I think if the pipe wouldn't have settled at the filling, there wouldn't even be a belly. There's always a chance that a clog could happen, but I'd say for the most part it's probably going to flow fine, but clog could potentially be there in that belly and that offset. Okay, right here we transition back to green PVC, which is SDR, and shortly you get a little bit further here, this transitions to white again. So right here we are in the parking area. I located this also. This is in the rocks. So there's like a parking gravel area on the south side of the shop, or the garage area. This transition doesn't look bad. I would like to note that this section, the pipe is, as far as I can tell, I mean, there can only be maybe a couple inches of dirt on top of it, because that parking area is cut lower, and my locator showed it was right there, so it's barely covered, which I don't think would be a problem as long as we have drainage. Shouldn't have a problem with it freezing or anything like that as long as it's draining. But if there's enough room for some foam board insulation, I would recommend a little bit of that on top. Move back a little bit. Very slight belly here. Again, I think this is still kind of draining. You can see the water draining down. Not much. This is in that shallow area where this white piece is. Now this, where it transitions back, and again we're working back toward the house. This is on the outside. This just cuts across the corner back there, and this is on the outside of the timber area. Slight transition, but it is going down, so it's not really impeding flow, but you can see how it just doesn't quite line up. This spot here is not having a problem with flow, but there is a belly right behind this, and we'll drop into that. Again, another shallow belly. Not much, but it's there. And it doesn't go for very far either, so more than likely this belly wouldn't cause problems, but again, you can't ever tell for sure. You can tell that the camera changes angle quite a bit right there, so I think it just had a moment of settling. Down right there. See if I get the camera cleaned off a little bit more. There we go. Alright, moving on back. We're kind of in the backyard, north of the trailer house and still east of the house, and off the north side of the house though, but angling back toward the house. The section of pipe looks fine, green SDR. Some of these fittings look like, you know, they're not glued all the way, but the belts usually have more than a normal coupling, so I'm not too concerned. Doesn't look like there's any tree roots or anything getting by. That one looks great. Another bell in there, maybe a coupling. I don't see anything wrong with that transition. Alright, here's an offset right here. So this, you can see that there's like a short piece of pipe, maybe by a bell, like a bell end on the pipe, but then right there on the bottom right you can see that it's shifted upward. This could be a catch, but I mean, my camera floats over it with very little effort, so potentially a problem, but not very likely. And then here's the Y. Right here we are probably just, there's a pedestal for power in the backyard here on the east side of the house. We're probably about 12 feet to the east of that pedestal where this Y's into the trailer house, which is also north, pretty much directly north of the west corner of the trailer house. So north of the trailer, on the west end of the trailer, but also east of the power pedestal by about 12 feet. So nothing really wrong there. Got a slight belly right here, so maybe an inch at the most. You can see that this fitting here, the bell is not glued all the way, but I do think it's glued far enough for a secure fit. And like I said, there's no tree roots or nothing getting in, so I think that is still a good fitting. Not ideal, but still seems to be okay. Alright, now this would be the last set of offsets. This is right next to the pedestal. I mean, we're talking the power pedestal. We're probably talking maybe 5 feet away to the south of the power pedestal. Because of how shallow this line is about 2 feet the whole way. I really think that This is probably was damaged when they trenched power from the pedestal to the trailer, and then they patched, repaired it, and you can see that looks like they used a Schedule 40 PVC adapting to this SDR, and it's just settled. Like maybe they're not steel banded couplings, I'm not sure, but it's definitely settled a little bit. This downhill one's not an issue. This uphill one, I mean, any settling is concerning because you don't know if this is as bad as it gets, it's probably not going to be a problem, but if it gets worse, it could be. This lip here, my camera goes effortlessly, so I don't think that this is really causing any problems now, but I can't guarantee it won't. So now we're getting closer to the house, kind of coming across the white gravel driveway just east of the house. So make sure I have it. Yeah, this is still, that's by the pedestal, across the driveway. Another glue fitting. That discoloration is just primer. There's nothing wrong with the pipe. It's just primer from when they glued the pipe together. Here's another primer spot. Looks like my camera is a little bit blurry, but again, another fitting where about half the bell is glued in, but I don't really think it's having much problems. There might be a little ovaling to it, but not really creating any issues here. This is probably right in the middle under the driveway. Now we're transitioning back to white PVC. I'm not sure if this is white SDR or Schedule 40, but this is where we start coming back to where the cleanouts are. There's a two-way cleanout on the east side of the house. If I start pulling back, we're going to come right up it. Alright. Just for a visual, I might walk this through a little bit just because of how far it is from town. So right here we're at the cleanouts on the outside of the house. There's the cleanout going back toward the house. This is the cleanout I went down to go away from the house. And the line goes like this. I am angling to the northeast. There's the white gravel going backwards. Here's the spot next to the power pedestal. It's about 2 foot deep. There's the power pedestal. 2 foot deep, just a short spot. Going ahead a little ways. This is the Y coming from the trailer house. Coming back a little further. Angling right behind where this trailer is. But here's that first little belly right here where this arrow is. And goes from here that way. So there's a little bit of a belly here. Right here where this wall was cut out, there's the transition right there. The belly stops right there. It's really small. And then the white piece of PVC from here to this arrow. This is the spot down in this little parking area that's been graveled in and cut down nicely. This is the small area that the pipe is really shallow. Coming on this side, this is where that other little offset was, the small belly. Going back a little further, slight belly right before this cleanout. So if you can see the white cap in the grass right there, that's the cleanout. And then just behind that is the Y from the garage or shop, whatever you want to call it. And then going back further, we're getting close to a bush here, and this is where I ran out of cable. That other slight offset was just back from that a few feet, so hopefully this explains things a little better and get a good grasp on what needs to be done. Thank you.